Hello everyone, this is Tom from Epiphone Guitars in Utrecht, the Netherlands, and today we are taking a look at this, dare I say, the coolest, or at the very least the quirkiest vintage guitar currently in the shop. This is a 1963 Epiphone E230T Casino electric guitar, and notice anything unusual about this Casino? Well, we got a tortoiseshell pickguard, which is kind of unusual to see. We also got a Bixby tailpiece, a Bixby B5 to be exact, and other than that, yeah, I mean, we got two pickups, which is normal, except for the way that these are installed. We got two P90s, but in a very unusual location, so to speak. This one not all that unusual, but this one is rather unusual. So we got a P90 in the middle position and in the neck position. What the hell's going on? Let's get into it. So this is an Epiphone Casino E230T. And the Epiphone Casino that most people know and love is the Epiphone Casino E230T-D. D standing for double pickup, and this one began its life as an E230T, so with just a single pickup, so no double pickup. And those models originally came with just the P90 installed in the middle position over here. So at some point in this very guitar's lifetime, somebody decided to install an extra P90 in the neck position, resulting in this rather unusual look. And yeah, I mean, it just looks rather strange and rather odd, to say the very least, but in like all of the right ways, because this just looks totally quirky, unique, and just out there, and it's just so weird and odd that you just can't help but fall in love with it, if you ask me. So this P90 has been installed somewhere in between 1963 or every year this guitar was purchased, and in between the 1990s. The former owner bought this very guitar in the early 1990s, and this P90 in the neck was already installed, so he was also not sure when that happened. And as of this point, we are also not very sure whether this is an old P90 or a newer style P90. I mean, guessing based on the aging of the covers, this is an old P90, and they also really match the middle original P90. So once that we have taken this P90 out, we will put a little box over here with more details on that, what year this is from, and if these are the same or not, or original. The middle pickup, of course, being original or not, because this is by no means original. But yeah, again, super duper cool. And but there are more things that had been done to this guitar, because as you can already probably tell, this is by no means mint, nor is it original. Like I also just mentioned, the tortoiseshell pickguard, also non-original. And yeah, that is one of a few more things that is non-original to this guitar. So let's get into it. So yeah, again, two weird P90s, tortoiseshell pickguard, which is off of a 1960s Gibson ES 125. So this is an old tortoiseshell pickguard produced in the USA by Gibson, and this binding actually is faux binding, because this has been painted on there, so that is not real binding, but it looks like real binding from a distance, and it does look rather good. I mean, the person that did a fairly good job. And by the way, let's just take a closer look at just this beautiful aged sunburst finish, and just take in all of the beautiful vintage authentic patina. The finish, by the way, is all original. So this is the original sunburst finish, and it looks like it and feels like it, also smells like it, if you know what I mean. Also on the neck. So back to the program. The pickup selector, obviously also non-original, because this guitar only came originally with just one P90, so this would not have been needed. But when this one got added, this one also got added. The controls are actually original, so we got a master volume control and a master tone control. The knobs are replaced, so these are kind of the bigger style Gibson speed knobs, I think they're called, and they're kind of newer compared to the rest of the instruments. The B5 Bixby also probably non-original, because these originally came with the Fibermate tailpieces by Epiphone with the big rosewood block, and then with the E, same type of E as you find on the pickguard, or they came with the long trapeze tailpieces with no trem. And me personally, I could not find any examples of Epiphone Casinos with the 1P90 with a Bixby straight from the factory. But this one has been on here for forever. There's no discoloration or anything of this being put on here like very late in its lifetime, and also no holes or anything. So yeah, it is safe to say that this is a very old Bixby, and one that has been on here for forever. The body is a laminated maple wood construction, and it is completely hollow, as opposed to ES335 models. That is what makes these very unique. They are completely hollow, resulting in a very unique sound of their own. So yeah, maple wood construction, like I just mentioned, and with double binding, all original finish again, like I also mentioned earlier, and it just looks super killer and just beautifully authentically aged just by playing this wonderful instrument for many years, 60 years if you can believe it. The neck, mahogany neck, with a, I would just say medium size profile. It is a bit on the thinner side, but overall just very comfortable, and just the fact that this has been played for so many years just makes it so much more comfortable, and there's definitely noticeable play wear, which just makes this so much cooler. What is also really nice to see is that this neck has never been repaired or anything, as in that it never broke. Given the fact that this guitar overall is just so played, or has been played so much, and that so much has been done to it, to see that the neck has never been broken off, or the headstock, that is just really nice to see. So that's definitely worth pointing out. The fretboard, rosewood fingerboard, and also to match the rest of the instrument, beautifully aged over the years of playing. This is the type of stuff that you cannot fake in any sort of Gibson custom shop or anything like that. Just the way that this is all shiny and glossed up almost, although it is not glossed up, like this has been like, this is always in oil, so to speak. That is just done through so many years of playing, and yeah, it is just looks really killer, and it also plays wonderfully. This has been re-fretted because these frets are larger than you would expect on an old guitar, and also the nibs are not there anymore, because these guitars were just produced by Gibson, because Epiphone was owned by Gibson and made by Gibson at this point in history. So this is just made by the same folks that made the Gibson ES style guitars and the SGs and such. So made in the very same sort of factory, and made using the same materials and tools and such. Binding on the fingerboard, also original, and then your old style Kalamazoo Epiphone headstock, which just looks also rather beautiful with the aging. Then the tuners are your vintage style plastic button tuners, Cluson style, and we are also guessing that these have been replaced, because these little white buttons look a little bit too white for its age. And but yeah, that is these definitely do match, and these are the type of tuners that came on here originally. And yeah, serial number is 99935, and yeah, Again, awesome guitar, not just in looks and how weird it is and how odd it is, but also in sound, because this also just plays like a dream. It definitely has that sound that you cannot fake using new tools or new sort of woods, anything. This is really, truly a really beautiful old example with that old sound that so many people know and love. And yeah, let's get to that part. But first, if you're interested in this very guitar, be sure to head over to the links in the description. One of those links will take you to the listing of this guitar on our website, and then the other link will take you to the listing of this guitar on our reverb shop if you happen to be an international buyer. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of cool guitars like this, cool acoustics, bass guitars, amplifiers, even all of that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. Without further ado, let's hear what this super quirky 1963 Epiphone Casino E230T sounds like. Going to be running it through the 1966 Fender Super Reverb. Yeah, let's get to that part and take this wonderful instrument for a spin.